Hi, I'm Tony Nichols, and welcome to this edition of Chamber Chat. Hi, and welcome to this edition of Chamber Chat, a program put together by the Salisbury Area Chamber of Commerce for the sole purpose of keeping you informed on what's going on at the Chamber and the community at large. Today we have a special guest. City Council President Jake Day is joining us. And Jake, welcome to the program.
Good morning, Tony. Thanks for having me.
By people seeing you on the program, automatically they're going to probably think that you have a hot topic as it relates to some legislation or some hot piece of information going through the city, but you're actually here to talk about something that's really more community involved than it is political.
That's right. That's right. We are. We're here to talk about some opportunities for people to get involved with their city.
Fantastic. Take us down that road.
Okay. All right. Well, before I got into politics and before I ran for city council, I was involved through several boards and commissions in the city. I was on the City Board of Housing Adjustments and Appeals, the City County Planning Commission, and a County Natural Resources Commission. And I found that those were incredible opportunities to get to understand a sliver of what the local government is dealing with and what our community is dealing with at large. So we have various commissions that deal with everything from our marina to our airport to recycling to natural resources to planning and zoning, you name it. And there are plenty of opportunities for people to get involved and understand their community a little better and influence the decisions that are made at the council and mayor level.
I can relate to that totally, because when I talk with people and they find out I'm heavily involved in the chamber, they ask me, how can I get involved? And I'll say, first join the chamber, but then just don't go to the peripheral things. Go in, jump in, get on a committee, right, which is really what this is a committee for the city.
That's exactly right.
I didn't mean to rhyme that, but it sounded pretty good. But that's really where you begin to learn what's happening and the needs of the city and how you can make an impact individually.
You know, Tony, that's absolutely right. And frankly, we have a need. We have a need for interested individuals who are passionate about their community to be involved and to help make decisions. I mean, these are not commissions, these are not boards that are designed to meet on a regular basis, right, and have a discussion and move along. They're designed to provide insight and make preliminary decisions and make recommendations, provide guidance to the mayor and the council. Mm-hmm. And these commissions, these boards are typically appointed by the mayor. All of the ones I'll talk about this morning are appointed by the mayor, mm-hmm, and confirmed by council.
Sure. Well, let's jump right into some of those boards and commissions, and,
okay,
and see which ones are in the biggest need.
Okay, and I'll go through each of these, and I can provide just a quick explanation of
right,
what each is. The first is the City Park Committee, and that's kind of self-explanatory. Right. Our city park is a jewel in our crown, and it's an incredibly important piece of infrastructure and community space, and we need citizens to represent that entity, talk about it, make decisions about its future. And in fact, we have a city park master plan that will be funded in the upcoming year, I believe, and we'll have this committee making serious decisions about the long-term future of the city park.
I'm probably going to interrupt you several times,
right,
so I apologize for that. But I just speaking to the city park, when we moved here 9 years ago from North Carolina, that was one of the coolest pieces. The city park, that whole area, tying in with the zoo, that was a major attraction for us, because at the time my children were small. They're since grown and one's out, and I'm trying to get the others out. But that's a very good lead-in, because that was one of the things that stood out to us about the community.
Well, and Tony, that's not the first time I've heard that. I think a lot of people see that as an incredible piece of infrastructure that our forefathers, people who founded this city, said, if we do this, it will be a permanent investment. Nobody's going to want to give that up. So fortunately, we've still got it, and our kids and our kids' kids will benefit from it. We've also got the Historic District Commission. The Historic District Commission deals with the city's 3 historic districts, the Downtown, Newtown, and Camden historic districts. They are there to hear requests for modifications to buildings and development plans within the historic districts. And again, that includes our downtown. And as you know, there's a lot going on downtown right now. So this is another very important body to help ensure that progress continues, that there aren't impediments to progress, but that some of the charm is retained to those neighborhoods. Right. We also have the Board of Zoning Appeals, and that body is, this may not sound like a lot of fun, but it can be really interesting. The Board of Zoning Appeals is designed to address requests from people who want to build or modify buildings that may not conform to existing zoning regulations. So outside of those existing regulations. And some of those things are very reasonable, and sometimes they're not, but when they're very reasonable, we need people who can help make that determination and help say, okay, that would be compatible in that neighborhood, even though our zoning code may not currently allow for it.
For our audience, something like zoning.
Yes.
Do I have to have a lot of experience to jump in there? It certainly will help, but is that an area where I would jump into to get my feet wet, or is another area suggested to begin the process of getting more involved?
That's a great question, and I would appeal to our architects and planners and engineers and surveyors in the community that this is the place where we need you to volunteer. This is the place where we need you to take a little time and give back to your community in a way that helps in the legislative and administrative process. There's a similar one, the Housing Board of Adjustments and Appeals. They deal with requests to forgive or come to some mediation when a decision has been made by our housing inspector. The housing inspector makes a certain determination, and the Housing Board of Adjustments and Appeals makes a determination whether or not that was in conformance with the law and whether or not there's some middle ground. Gotcha. Really, that's a board of citizens that is, again, designed to, deals with some technical issues, but really is designed to come to common sense conclusions about what's happening in our neighborhoods and what's happening with housing.
Very good.
And the last 2 are also pretty straightforward, our Recycling Advisory Committee and our Marina Committee. And they deal with our recycling program and our marina. Very important right now, since we are considering a restructuring of our recycling program. And we have a lot of, I think, opportunity at our marina, which is right next to the currently redeveloping River's Edge property, and Chesapeake Shipbuilding, which is growing, going gangbusters. And then you've got the marina next door. I think it's the next opportunity to really make something special.
I think I just saw where funding was set aside for the dredging.
Yes, it was.
Many people don't realize how big of a deal that is, or could have been, had that not come through.
$1.5 million this year, and it's fantastic. The Port of Salisbury is the 2nd largest port in the state of Maryland, 2nd busiest port, and we need that. We absolutely need that dredging.
Well, Jake, we know you're a busy guy, have a little bit on your plate, and we'd like to certainly thank you. Any parting words that you'd like to give to the audience before you take out?
I'd just say we have a number of ways to get involved. We've held our first Coffee with Your Council this fall. We've got another one coming up in a few months. I encourage everyone to come to those events. We'll be putting out press releases. We'll certainly make sure the Chamber is aware of it, and it'll be on Facebook and social media, our website, things like that. So please come out and get involved in those opportunities. Come to our council meetings if you have a concern. And please get involved through our boards and commissions. This is a great opportunity to give back.
Jake Day, City Council President, thanks for stopping by Chamber Chat.
Tony, always a pleasure.
We'd like to give you the opportunity now to check out some of the upcoming events with the Salisbury Area Chamber of Commerce. Welcome back to Chamber Chat. Joining us now is Heather Duma, the chair of networking with the young professionals with the Salisbury Area Chamber of Commerce. Heather, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
All right, the word implies that you would know what the Young Professionals Network is, but could you share with us what your committee is and
Sure,
does?
absolutely. The Young Professionals operate under the membership division of the Chamber, and the Young Professionals really have three main missions, and that is networking, personal and professional development, as well as outreach. And the other chairs of those committees are Kristen Smith and Michelle Mariner. And with our networking, we really focus obviously on networking events, my favorite of which is our Coffee Connects that we hold once a month. For personal and professional development, we focus on having lunch and learns, various topics depending on what's interesting to the business community at that time. And then outreach, it ranges from doing Habitat for Humanity builds to decorating Delmarva to Riverwalk cleanups.
Networking is such a integral part of business these days.
Absolutely.
What would you say to the people that might not consider themselves young? Are they invited to your networking events?
They're certainly more than welcome to our networking events. It's great to network either way.
That's right, very good. I understand that you guys have a pretty big event coming up. In fact, one of, if not the biggest event that you guys do all year. Tell us what that is.
Yes, that is Career Day, and it is one of the biggest events that we have. And Career Day is really separated into three main parts, but the main mission of Career Day is really to get our ninth graders thinking about career fields post-graduation. We really want them to start thinking about what kind of academics are necessary, what kind of steps they need to take to prepare themselves for the workforce. So the first part of Career Day really revolves around partnering with the Wicomico County Board of Education. They have their teachers chat with the students about get them thinking about what kind of career
Prepare
fields.
them for the experience.
Exactly. Then they get them registered. We have about 40 presenters that will be coming in and presenting different career fields for them. So we ask them to choose 4. And the teachers get them signed up for that. Now, the second part of Career Day is when they actually come to the Salisbury University campus and they follow their schedule for the events that they've signed up for, the 4 presentations that they signed up for that day, and they attend the events and get to speak with a professional in that field. Now, the third part of Career Day, which is actually my favorite part, is when they get back to their schools and they have a chance to really reflect on their experiences and reflect on the advice that was given to them by the professionals for the presentations that they attended. And we ask them to write an essay, and we have an essay contest. And they write their essay, they submit those to the young professionals, and we grade those, we look through those, and we choose winners. We pick a first, a second, and a third place from each school and present them with an award.
Fantastic. I'm sure there are some that that bring their high school demeanor with them to Career Day. But overall, how would you say that they come in? How prepared are they when they get there, and how engaging are they with the career presenters in terms of legitimate questions, if you will, about their career path?
Sure. They're excited. They're really excited. You know,
Very
they have 40 different options to choose from, approximately. So when it comes down to it and they've picked 4 that they're really interested in, they're in that presentation because that's something that's obviously they're very passionate about and something they want to learn more about. And you know, for a 9th grader that's interested in aerospace or that's interested in becoming an engineer, to have the opportunity to sit down and ask an engineer questions or to ask a cosmetologist questions, you know, what does your day look like? What's the average salary I can expect? What kind of classes should I take? That's a great opportunity. So for the most part, they're really excited about the opportunity.
I think it's fantastic because I have a 9th grader at home, and I'm telling her all the time about, you know, what do you want to be? What are you thinking about? And knowing what she's good at now, what her skill sets, how her skill sets can plug into a given field. I would assume that is the same kind of prep that the teachers, not only stuff that they just like to do, but sometimes what you like to do and what you're really gifted for might not be the same thing.
Right.
So that broad spectrum of options is really sounds like what you're presenting to them.
Absolutely, and it's important for the parents to engage with the students about this, obviously for the teachers as well, but when the students can really sit down with someone and with an attorney, for example, and an attorney will tell them, if you want to get into law school, your grades matter starting in 9th grade. To hear it from the mouth from a professional from that field that they're interested in makes a little bit of a difference.
Yeah, the mouth from someone other than your parent.
Exactly.
That makes a difference. So you're looking for, are you still looking for member companies or business people to be a part of Career Day, to be one of those 40, did you say 40 Approximately 40?
Approximately 40. Mhm.
Are you still looking for people to step up and be involved?
Absolutely, absolutely. We're still looking for presenters. We're still looking for sponsors as well. We are beginning to fill the presenter spots, but if anyone's interested, I would encourage them to contact the chamber.
What's expected of a speaker?
We give them 20 minutes per session, and we give them their own classroom that's fully equipped if they have a PowerPoint presentation that they'd like to give. And we ask them to share, like I was saying earlier, a little bit about the day in the life, what it takes, education requirements. But we really like it when the presenters can discuss tips and tricks with the students.
Gotcha.
If I was in 9th grade again, here's what I would have done differently. These are the classes that I would have taken. Or can educate the students about what kind of programs are here locally at UMES or at Warwick or at SU that may be beneficial to them to start looking into now.
I don't think there is an adult in any profession or career path that hasn't said, if I knew now, if I knew then what I know now.
Right.
So that's very good. Are there any particular fields that are harder for you to find or get someone to get involved with? And if so, tell us what they are so maybe we can get the word out.
Sure. We have a hard time finding doctors, pharmaceutical industry. It's hard for them to take a day off of work.
Right.
It's hard for a physician to be able to step away from their surgery center or whatever the case may be. So we have difficulty with those fields.
That makes sense because not only is it it's vital to not only the practice in general but the patient. So
Right.
I can understand that to a
But
degree.
if we can find someone that would be willing to come in and talk to the students about that and really understand that we're sewing into these students now, sewing into them early.
How about a PA? They're more apt to maybe have a day off,
Right.
and you probably have to find someone that is working for a doctor or they're on vacation or something. That way, they're not taken away from that practice. That's probably a good thing to put out as well.
Right.
It's a pretty good way to give back on that day off in a non-invasive way. How can people get involved? Do you have to be a member of the chamber to be involved in Career Day?
Do not have to be a member of the chamber to be a presenter.
How would someone go about letting you know that they want to be involved in Career Day?
You can just contact the chamber offices. They have lots of people ready and willing to answer any questions that you may have.
Fantastic. Any parting words for us?
We are still looking for sponsors for the event. Obviously, an event of this magnitude with this many students, every 9th grader in Wicomico County, there's some costs associated
Sure.
with that. So if anyone's interested in sponsoring it, encourage them to contact the chamber as well.
We will most
We'll
certainly
greatly appreciate it.
get the word out for you. Heather Duma,
Thank you.
thanks for joining us on Chamber Chat. We'd like to give you another opportunity now on PAC 14 to view the upcoming events with the Chamber of Commerce. Welcome back to Chamber Chat. Joining us now is the Director of Media and Public Relations for the Chamber of Commerce, Sophia Smecker. Welcome to Chamber Chat.
Hi, Tony. Thanks for having me.
A lot of people don't know, and I know you'll probably get to this, a lot of people don't know, but you're really the nuts and bolts behind Chamber Chat.
I'm
Are you
usually on
not?
the other side of the glass.
Yes, you
I
are.
am.
So it's good to have you in the hot seat for a while.
It is. It's
So,
nice to be
so
here.
tell us what you do with the Chamber of Commerce.
So I'm the Director of Media and Public Relations. And being the director of that, I manage all the different communication outlets. So one of the biggest benefits to chamber membership is having the opportunity to promote your business and also receive recognition in our different outlets. So I work with the members to make sure that they're receiving that free marketing benefit. And then I also use our communication tools to be able to communicate to our members what's going on at the chamber.
Very cool. One of the big things that people quickly find out when they join the chamber is that they do have many opportunities to promote their business. And one of the biggest ways to promote their business is that of getting involved with the chamber.
Mm-hmm.
So then there's a double-edged sword in that not only are they giving back and meeting people that they may have otherwise never met and make contacts and network, as we just talked before, with other business professions, but they also you get to use those channels you just talked about to promote their business as well. Tell us about these different communication outlets that you point people towards when they join the chamber.
Sure. There's about 5 major tools that I manage. The first is the biggest one. That's our newly designed website. It's the most dynamic of all the communication tools, in that members can go on, they can pay their bills online, they can register for events, and they can also change their business's information. Our website's also frequented by the public. People that live in the area are relocating to the area, visiting. They want to know more about Salisbury, and they also want to go on and see our membership directory.
The digital presence of not only organizations like the Chamber, but businesses and cities is ever more important. It's never been more important than it is now, because people are watching you before you know they're watching you. So I think having those things in place and making sure they're up to date are vital. Tell us a little more about the other opportunities that are available to people when they join the Chamber.
One of the other elements to our website is our blog, The Chamber Voice. And our members can submit their news and information to be shown up on the blog. And then also with that, social media has been such an essential tool in the business community and to us. We have our Chamber's YouTube page where they can go on and see past editions of Chamber Chat and various other videos. And then we also have the Chamber's Facebook page where we have about 900 followers, and that's one of our primary methods of communicating to our members, because it's updated multiple times a day. So our members can also share their statuses, Facebook statuses, onto our page as well. So all of our followers can see their information too.
As far as the social media goes, I see the feeds come in all the time on Facebook, but one thing that many people may not do, they just see the content and they read it, but it's pretty important to like that and then share it as well. Why is that important?
Being active is really, really important. Engaging with our members is important to us. We want feedback. We want to know that you're hearing us when we ask a question on Facebook. You know, what are some events that you're interested in going to? I mean, you know, social media, like I said, has become such an essential tool. And that it really is where people now are talking and giving feedback.
Very good. The Business Journal has been around for 15 years or so.
It has.
I understand there may be some changes coming to the Business Journal. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Yeah, there are some exciting changes coming within the next few months here. The board has decided to take the Business Journal online. So for us to continue on the road of becoming that indispensable business resource in our community, the Chamber has taken so many steps within the past few years that I've been here to keep up to date with technology. So it only makes sense for us to take our content completely online. And it will be a big benefit for our members, because they'll be able to submit the same information, so the same events, same check presentations, same new hires, but it will be available immediately instead of waiting monthly for that printed version. And then our members will also be able to share it online, so they can email it to their boss and say, "Hey, look at me! I was in the Business Journal."
Right. Very cool. I think it'll go a long way in aligning the Chamber's marketing efforts for the members, in that the Business Investment Guide, which many people may not be aware of just yet, is the publication that shows people the opportunities that they have to invest back into the Chamber through sponsorships and other opportunities. That will better align those opportunities to be more streamlined. That when you plug in at this level, or you have this opportunity, it automatically links to multiple channels rather than just one channel. So it makes a lot of sense. Now, as with anything else, there are probably going to be some people that are not going to be very happy with this change going to an e-journal, an e-business journal rather than a printed format. What would you say to those guys?
Well, to go back first to what you were saying about streamlining, that's a major thing for us, being able to streamline our marketing efforts. And then the investment guide, like you said, that shows our members what kind of advertising opportunities there are. This will be unique and different from the business journal because advertisers will be able to buy ads, and the business journal will be built into our website. So they'll be able to have a kind of broader and wider scale audience. We have about 6,000 views on our website per month.
Very good.
And then going back to what you're saying about maybe there's some questions about taking the business journal online. The board has talked about this many times over because the business journal has been such an essential marketing tool for the chamber.
Right.
We believe in being relevant to our members. And we think that once our members will be able to get assimilated to this new format, that they'll be able to see the benefit and being able to share their information and it becoming available immediately. And then also be able to share it on social media. So streamlining those marketing efforts, not just for us, but also for their business is very important.
Makes a lot of sense. Though there may be some questions, that makes a lot of sense. I'm sure we'll hear more about this in the months to come. Sophia, thanks so much for finally getting on this side of the camera with Chamber Chat. It's been enjoyable.
Yep, thanks for having me, Tony. Appreciate it.
We'd like to thank you for joining us as well. As always, we encourage you to submit your thoughts or comments for future editions or topics on Chamber Chat. If you missed any portion of this edition or previous editions of Chamber Chat, we'd encourage you to visit PAC 14's website and utilize their on-demand function, or you can continue to visit the Chamber's blog, The Chamber Voice. Well, that's about all the time we have for this edition of Chamber Chat. My name's Tony Nichols, your host, encouraging you to make a difference.